onto YouTube. So big welcome to YouTube. If you are just joining us, happy Thursday. And today's live class, sorry the others, I'm just repeating this. Today's live class is going to be spring door wreaths, but using fresh foliage, but using artificial tulips. We're going to have a giveaway today. We have anybody that's into daily planners, journaling and keeping a diary. These will be ideal. I'll explain them in a second. And as I said, we're thanking people for all the help and support that they gave us so that we won Floral Educator of the Year. It was amazing. 3 years in a row. I think we have to step down next year.
I think we will,
and
yeah.
give someone else a chance, we will. I'm sure the Americans were saying, where are all these Irish and Scottish and English and Welsh? And we even had Americans voting for us, you know, that way, because again, we have a huge following in America ourselves. If anybody has any questions at all about anything that I'm doing here today, comment underneath. Even if you're watching it on the replay, get involved and comment underneath, because as I said, I always respond back to everyone at night time. I go through all the comments and we respond back to everyone. Now, another little bit of good news. Today, or actually yesterday it was, yesterday we launched our spring online program. So the spring online program, you can sign up to it at any time. Obviously, this month would be a good month to sign up, but you do have 6 months access. You get to learn how to do 5 different arrangements, spring arrangements, but easily you could substitute flowers around. These are arrangements that haven't been on any of our classes before, so they are like brand new ones. You're giving a list. It's ideal for the beginner or the hobby florist. You are given a list of exactly what you need to buy in, like flower-wise and sundry-wise, for anyone then that wants to copy the arrangements. Obviously, when you start making them and you need a little bit of feedback, you'll be able to WhatsApp me for help and support and a little bit of feedback as well. But we do have an early bird special. So this course will be classed as a standalone course. So standalone courses, we've lots of different ones, by the way. But with the standalone courses, we don't normally supply materials, etc. But what we're doing for the spring online workshop is we are offering an early bird special. So if you book your course before the 8th, which is next Tuesday, Wednesday. So before the 8th of March. So if you book, reserve your place for the online spring workshop, and I'm going to ask Sinead to put the link in the comments.
She has already,
there.
yeah.
Okay. We will post you out, the boxes are all hidden behind here already, but we will post you out a box of sundries, okay? So you will have some of the materials, to be honest, most of the materials to copy the arrangements. Because sometimes that's the hardest part, isn't it? When you go to make a flower arrangement and you haven't got the container and you haven't got the basket and you haven't got the wreath ring and whatever it is. So what we'll do is we'll pack a lot of the materials into the box and we'll send it out for free in Ireland or the UK. Doesn't matter.
And just if anybody is buying, because I've had a couple of people who've bought it as a gift for Mother's Day and they've asked us to hold on to the kit until
let us know. Okay?
That's absolutely no problem.
As good as we are, we're not psychic, you know, that way. So if you want us to hold on to the kit and then post it out nearer to Mother's Day, that isn't a problem, but just drop us an email and let us know about that. So that's the spring online course. Sinead has the link in the comments there. You can book onto it at any time. So you can book on during April, May or June. You get 6 months access from the day that you sign into it. You have got feedback, help and support if you need any help or support. Because it's a standalone, we don't send out any materials, but anybody that books it before the 8th of March, you can book it on the website or the link that's below there. We will send you out, we'll post you out a free sundries kit.
So just on that, so if they book onto the course today, they can't access it until the 8th. But from the 8th, they have 6 months. But if they book onto it on the 18th, they still have 6 months. Okay. But they don't get the free kit.
Oh, so the course isn't live at the moment?
No, it's not live until the 8th.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. I actually thought it was live. So if you book onto the course today, you can't actually watch it till the 8th, okay? But it just means that your kit will be posted out to you. As soon as you book it, we'll send the kit out straight away.
Yeah.
Now, materials that you will need if you wish to copy the door wreath that I'm making today is 3 bunches of the artificial tulips, okay? I showed these to you yesterday. Will you pass us one of the white bunches that's there?
Somebody is saying on Facebook that we're freezing from what's going on there.
Is that the same girl as yesterday?
No, there's actually 2 people saying. Maria is saying it as well,
okay.
yeah.
That was a good catch, wasn't it?
I tell you.
Not really sure hopefully it might clear up after a little while. So these are what the bunches of tulips look like from Charlie in Evergreen Silk Plants. So somebody might tag Evergreen Silk Plants there. Again, if you have any questions about these materials.
And that was a question somebody just asked you now, are they faux or fresh?
Yeah, they're faux, they're artificial, but they're very, very realistic looking. And they come like that, there's a little cable tie and a little bit of twine on them. And what I did to each flower was I just cut a little bit off the end of them, just to kind of let you see there.
Just bring it
I
down.
cut a bit off the end. And then just with my finger, I just kind of gave them a little bit of a curve so that they sit on the door wreath. But like you don't have to do that. You could leave them straight. And if anybody wants to use fresh tulips instead, you could use a little water vial because they're not going to last, okay? Out of water, fresh tulips won't last, so you need to use a water vial, and I'll cover that another day if anybody has any questions about that. Also, last week we done the mimosa door wreath. Everyone was asking me, like, how will it last? And I was saying, it'll dry out. But I know a lot of you didn't believe me. So we actually videoed it yesterday morning, because it would have been a week old yesterday morning. And Deirdre posted it over on the Case Flower School Instagram page last night, the video of it. And this morning she posted it on the Case Flower School Facebook page. Again, the video of what the mimosa wreath looks like a week later. And I'll probably video it again because it's on my own hall door. So, and I'm going to leave it there for at least a month or so. So I will video it again in another 2 weeks or so, just to let you see like how it's actually lasting. Now, what you'll also need, so you'll need 3 bunches of these. And again, he has them in lots of different colours. I just decided to go for pink. I'm a bit into pink, I suppose. You'll also need 1 of these twig rings, and he has these on special at the moment. He has them all reduced, and there's all different sizes. This is a 12-inch one, okay? But like you can get a 10-inch, an 8-inch, a 14, a 16, and he also has them in different colours. You're not going to see it, really. You'll see the back of it, but the great thing is it's going to be reusable, okay? So I'm going to be using fresh foliage, but when the fresh foliage it'll dry out on him, but I'll get about 3 or 4 weeks. So in 3 or 4 weeks then is I can undo the base. I still have this base. I'll still have all the tulips. I can compost all the foliage, and I can either remake it up again or I can make a brand new one. And what I am going to do next week or the week after is I'm going to make another one, on and again another one of these bases, but I'm going to do it in sunflowers. And again, he has these gorgeous bunches of sunflowers. I showed them to you yesterday. They're only $1.90 a bunch, and you'll need 3 bunches of them. So if you're on buying the tulips, buy the 3 bunches of sunflowers at the same time and buy yourself 2 of these twig rings. Or maybe a bit extra. You might do 1 for yourself and 1 to give away. The other thing that you'll need is a roll of real wire. Some people call it mossing wire because it is used for mossing bases, and you can either buy them in a spool like that or a spool like that. It doesn't really matter. Like, you mightn't have a choice. They'll either only have one or the other. We use both here. Whatever one is the handiest to me. Sometimes I buy them in and they're that shape. Other times I buy them in and they're that shape, and it really doesn't make any difference. There's loads on the roll. It'll last you for ages. You'll probably get a couple of different door wreaths out of it. And the thing is, the ideas I'm showing you now will do for spring door wreaths, summer door wreaths, wedding door wreaths, Mother's Day door wreaths, Valentine's Day door wreaths, Christmas, autumnal, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day. Like, even this morning, I seen one of our old St. Patrick's Day door wreath classes that I did live about 2 years ago. Obviously, somebody found it, and once they comment on it, it comes back up again. It was actually gas watching it, you know, that way. I think I reshared it over to the Case Flowery Fun group if anybody wants to watch it over there. The other thing that I'm going to add into the door wreaths today is Charlie sent me out some of these twigs. They're like twigs that are covered in moss. They're absolutely beautiful, they are. There's no price on them, so I'd say Paula packed the box, so I don't know what price they are. Now, there's different things I can use these for. I could use them for flower arranging, and I think they'd be brilliant. And like last night, anybody that watched the flower arranging course I did, you can still watch it, where I did it in the fresh orchids, and I used the pussy willow. You could use this instead of the pussy willow. So all I'm just going to do is just kind of like cut it up. I'm just going to use the scissors here. Cut it up into kind of like smaller little pieces. And again, well, I'm leaving a little bit of length on them, you know. And I'm going to use these kind of like twig pieces coming in and out of the door wreath just to give it a little bit of texture. Now you don't have to do this. You give it a little bit more movement rather than texture is really what I meant to say. But it's just something different to put in and out through it.
Okay, so we have such a variety of people watching in. We have Dinah is watching in from the Philippines. We have Yvonne is watching in from Scotland. We've Helen watching in from Cove in County Cork. With somebody in there, Paula from the West Midlands. Somebody, Breda from Mead, Maureen from Terrafeckin, and somebody was on there earlier on from Dubai. So yeah.
Big welcome to everyone. And what I'd love you to do, any chance, especially all them people that are abroad in Dubai and Termafeckin and all the rest. I know that's not abroad, I'm only messing. Why don't you share it? Why don't you click share and listen, get the word out there. Now our giveaway today, haven't decided what the question is going to be. So you know the story, you just have to listen to me and then I'll randomly think of a stupid question. But we met this wonderful girl in Donegal last week.
I can't think
of her name.
Yeah.
I can see her face because we were talking to her for ages. And she does.
But maybe if Anne or somebody is watching.
Yeah, Anne too here, you're watching. Can you remember the girl's name? And maybe somebody there might tag her, okay? Get up and go. So we've 2 of these to give away. She gave us 2 of them. So they're a daily planner for the busy woman. So we're all busy women, we are. But also for the person who likes to maybe keep a bit of a diary. Obviously keep themselves reminded of what's going on, but also like to maybe journal. And also there's a year planner, which I find is great. You can't see the state of the place here, but we have a big year planner on the wall where this all opens up and it's quite big. And you can put it on the inside of your press, and on a day-to-day you can see if you have appointments or the kids have appointments and so on. But just on the inside, I've just opened it for March. I know we're on to the 2nd of March already. But there's some lovely quotes, like here for March. Start by doing what's necessary. Now that's what we do when we come in first thing in the morning. We make a cup of coffee because that's necessary. Then we do what's possible. So I suppose what's possible, we turn on the heating and we go live with our students in the Bloom Room. And then it says, suddenly you are doing the impossible. And believe it or not, that was quoted by St. Francis of Assisi.
There you go.
Anyway, it's not a holy book. But then on the, for each day, sorry, hold on, I find. Like each day, where am I finding where I had all the motivation? Where you can put like your
own goals.
Your own goals, exactly. So my power word for today is coffee. And again, you can say my 3 most important tasks are, my other tasks are, my wish list is, my notes, my reminders. Today I'm grateful for, today I accomplished. Did you make your bed?
I did. And I'll give you an even better one. I was giving out to John because our bed is 6.5 foot wide. So to make the bed, you have to walk all the way around the other side. So anyway, he made his side of the bed when he got up this morning.
And
so
you just look out the window and all the
well,
rest.
I did. Now I think Cara was a bit of a struggle this morning to get her to look out the window. To get her open her eyes, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give 2 of these amazing planners
get up
away.
and goer from Roscommon, somebody Linda is saying.
Fair play. Tag them there. Pop over, follow their page. Find out what your woman's name is. I can see her in front of me. You know, we were talking to her for ages. Just have a complete blank. And I thought these will be brilliant. And as there is a lot of women that follow us. So what's the question going to be, Deirdre? Think of something. And I better get started.
What was my task after the feeling?
After Donegal, what was Deirdre told that she had to do every day? And what is she doing? She even has John doing it now. Okay, so I've made up little bunches of foliage, and you've all seen this at some stage. So Deirdre went foraging in her own garden this morning.
While I was looking at the sky.
And she has some pieces of ivy, so wild ivy, some black pittosporum, some of the ceanothus. So all I did was just got a bit of wire. I'll just undo this one just to kind of give you an idea. So just basically is get a little bit of your ceanothus or whatever you happen to have in your garden, a little bit of the wild ivy, that's the one with a bit of seed head on it, and a little bit of the black pittosporum. You just bunch them together, you get a little bit of wire, and you wrap it around the end. Deirdre's an absolute knots of laughing there behind the camera. What's
if a stranger was looking at these comments coming in, they'd be like, what the feck is going on in that place?
Okay, so we've all the bunches made, that's the small side, Deirdre, is it? And this is the bigger.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so different weeks I've done the door wreath with you, and I've sometimes used a moss ring, I've sometimes used a straw ring. I have another great plan. We got a delivery from the UK yesterday, and you know all that compostable cardboard that comes in it? Well, we didn't throw it out, and we're actually going to do a sustainable wreath base, you know, the way using the cardboard, another week. There's not enough days in the week. I need one of them planners, but I need another 365 days added onto it. So we'll start off with our first bunch of greenery. First of all, we'll attach the wire onto your base. Now again, this can be your straw base if you prefer. So because it's a twig ring, I'm able to hook it in through it, just like that, and I'm just going to give it 2 or 3 little spins, and that's the handiest way with the twig rings, you see, to attach it. With the moss rings and the straw rings, I've showed you a slightly different technique. So then with our bunches of greenery, what I'm going to do is rest them onto the base on a 45-degree angle, just sticking out. And then where our wire is, I'm going to wrap the wire around the end of the bunch where I actually have the real wire wrapped around it, you know, to hold them together. And again, pull it nice and tight. It's really important that you pull it nice and tight. And then get your second bunch, and again, just rest it beside it. So don't have them overlapping too much, but then don't leave a gap in between it. And then ever so often you're going to take up your tulip, and you could do this at the same time. I'm just going to lay my tulip in there, and again, the real wire gets wrapped around the tulip. So I'm going to hold this up now just to give you an idea what it looks like so far. So I've 2 bunches of greenery, and I've 1 tulip in so far, and I'd be nearly ready to add in the second tulip. So the first tulip kind of went in with the first bunch. So now you can kind of see why I curved these around, you know the way. So I'm now just going to catch my second bunch in there, second tulip I meant to say, and again I'm going to catch the real wire around it. And when I have this made completely, I'll still be able to manoeuvre the tulip slightly, because obviously there's a wire inside it. So now I'm going to take up my third bunch of greenery, and the same idea, it's going to be resting on the base on that 45-degree angle, and I'm going to wrap the wire around it and pull it nice and tight.
Okay, keep going there. There's a couple of questions coming in. Somebody wants to know about the spring online course. That do they get a flower delivery?
So not with the spring online, no. And when you see the price of it, absolutely no. So it's just a standalone course. Like where normally the professional courses where we send out the materials and the sundries, they're all in around the €800 mark. This one is at €200, so that we don't send any flowers, we don't send any materials. But anybody who avails of the early bird special, you will be getting a whopper of a prize, because as I said, you'll get that sundry kit posted out to you. So I'm on the third bunch, and I'm also on the third tulip there, just adding in. Now when I was dividing up the greenery, the bunches of greenery, I said to Deirdre, keep the smaller bunches to one side. So these are like the little smaller bunches. And I'm just going to catch them in low. Do you see down there? Do you see on the inside of the twig ring? And again, it just makes your base nice and bulky. And then again, if you thought that you needed an extra tulip here and there, you can add in an extra one, like what I'm doing. So far, I have 4 tulips. And I have 5 bunches, I think, of greenery. I've lost count of the greenery. So again, you can see the way the real wire gets pulled around it nice and tight. Now, if somebody preferred, you could use a roll of the twine. Personally, I prefer the wire. I can pull it much tighter. But the twine does work really well. And again, if you want to be more sustainable, you could actually wrap all your bunches and tie a knot with a piece of twine. And again, you could wrap it onto the base. And again, and that would make it very sustainable, because obviously the artificial flowers can all be reused again. Or as one of the girls said, sticking to the wall, sticking to the floor here, a bit of selfie. One of the girls was saying to me where she gets her artificial flowers each year and she puts them away and then takes them out the following year.
Well, I do that too. Yeah. I absolutely do that, because I have a couple of wreaths at home that were made with artificial flowers that... And actually, well, I don't even take them apart. I hang them in the garage until I'm ready to take them apart.
Which is the same, like over in the house over in Lanzarote. Like we have different types of door wreaths. Like when Mama's over there, she normally makes like another door wreath for me, whatever the season or the colours are. Or again, she would bring over some of the artificial flowers from Ireland. And when she's over there sitting in the sun, she normally makes a new wreath for the door. But again, like she stores them then in one of the presses, you know, that way. So I'd have like a sunflower one. The Christmas one is still hanging on the door, because I didn't take it down when I was over there the last time. And as far as I have a sunflower one over there, I have a hydrangea one over there. And plan is, I think she's going to make me a spring one when she's over there this time. Might give her some of these artificial tulips to bring over. So again, just to let you see what it's looking like so far.
Breda is saying that, yes, she reuses her artificial flowers. It's a great way for sustainability, and particularly I think when you have foliage growing in your garden, that you can just forage the foliage and then reuse it and recycle. Yeah, it's absolutely, I love it, you know, as a way to do it. Another question came in there and they were asking about the flower. So somebody said they didn't realise we got flowers for the module courses.
Yeah, with all the professional online programs, so they would all be our commercial courses. We send out a huge box of flowers, like it's not a little box, it's a huge box of flowers that you can create all the arrangements. Like the last few days, you'll see where I'm posting photographs of what the students are making. So some of them are on unity candles and topiary trees and candelabras and table garlands. So all of them flowers and all of them materials were actually supplied to the students. And other students are on round wreaths, funeral sprays, horseshoe wreaths, heart wreaths, hand-tied bouquets.
Yeah.
And again, all of them flowers and all of them materials are all supplied to the student. And it doesn't matter what part of the country you're in, it actually gets delivered to your own whole door.
Breda is saying yesterday she was supposed to be cleaning up all her crafty stuff and then she ended up making another door wreath.
That's always what happens, isn't it?
This
You know
is it,
that
she gets
way.
stuck in. Carol is saying she's all just
to
booked.
let you see
It's
what
actually
this looks
lovely,
like
yeah.
so far.
It's actually very realistic. Carol is saying that she's all booked for the 8th and she can't wait for the 8th for the spring course. Glenda Devlin is the name of Get Up and Go Diary.
Oh, brilliant. Fair
Maria Gannon has put that
and
up.
you know what? If you are, Deirdre, will you get me another reel wire when you have a second? No, I have one here. Sorry, I have one. If somebody happens to be her friend, could you actually tag her on this page? So that girl that got her name, do you know her, or was it just a fluke? You looked it up for me. But if you do know her name, if you could actually, or if you do know her, is what I meant to say. If you could actually tag her, that would be brilliant. Just that she realizes. And again, if anybody was interested, they could then contact.
Because there is a smaller version of that, and the smaller version we're actually going to be using the spot prices on our spring course, our workshop on Saturday.
Yeah, so we have a spring in person. It's different to the online, okay? Because it's an actual in person. So anybody that acts up will get a clip along the ear. Just because I ran out of reel wire there, the end, I just kind of hooked it in around the twig. I'm then going to start on the newer one. So again, I'm hooking that in around the twig again. And I'm just going to then continue on. But at the spring in-person workshop, we normally have a couple of giveaways on the day because there's a couple of little competitions as we go along. So we have different items and we have 6 smaller versions of that book. Again, huge thanks to Glenda. She gave them all to us to use as our giveaways.
John is saying he can't wait for Saturdays, looking forward to it. Maria says she knows her, so she says she'll contact her and let her know.
Let her know, because I did say to her, I said, I said, give us a couple of them books. I said, I'll use them as our giveaway and we'll promote you on Facebook.
And over on Facebook, Breda and Noreen have been tagging Get Up and Go. So if anybody on Instagram wants to tag them, we would appreciate it so that people know where to go looking for them. So, and I will tag them in the heading of this when I do share it up. So Get Up and Go is the name of the business. The answers have slowed down, so we just want to remind people, what did I have to start doing as a result of finding my fabulous at the weekend, which I did find it, but I had to do 3 things, but you only have to name one of the things that I had to do, and I will pick a winner before the end of the live. Angela King, Perfect Petals by Angela King, has tagged Get Up and Go over on Instagram. Thanks, Angela, for that.
Angela, you're a pet. And make sure that you follow like a lot of our past students. So say Angela King, Perfect Petals by Angela King. She's over there on Instagram at the moment. Why don't you look for her comment? Pop over to her page and follow her. Because again, you give us all great support, so we definitely want to support you as well. And the thing is, like, especially for small businesses and women in business and women supporting women and so on, the hardest part, like when you build up a business or start up a business with your social media page, is trying to build up interaction. Like, I know how hard it is, and like we get lots of support like from the likes of yourselves. So again, any of the girls that are only starting off a new business, it's so hard for them. So if we kind of get the followers and just go over and like some of their pictures and say something, say, "God, that's lovely, Angela. That's really nice, Angela." Even if you're not planning on buying it, you know, that way, or ordering off her, it'd be great if you did order off her. But you know what I mean, just give them a little bit of support on their pages. It does make a huge difference. Now I'm coming near the end here, okay, just to let you see it. So what I'll have to do is kind of like lift up these tulips and lift up these bunches of greenie and kind of slide the ends, you know what I mean, in underneath it, so I get that kind of continuous movement going the whole way around. So again, if anybody has any questions, just place your questions in the comments and Deirdre will call them out to me. Anybody that wants to win the books to get up and go, comment underneath, what did Deirdre have to start doing after she did the weekend in Donegal? What did she have to start doing so that she would keep her feeling her
Feeling me fabulous.
Feeling her fabulous and finding her fabulous and so on.
Paula says, I spend a fortune every week on flowers and foliage for my floristry courses. Prices are unreal, but I love watching Kay's Flower School. Your teaching is the best.
Thanks
I'm glad you
enjoy.
And you know, that is the good thing of buying really good quality faux flowers, is particularly when you're practicing.
Yeah, but them tulips that I've used there, they would be brilliant for doing your little posy arrangements or your baskets, or any of our students at the moment that are learning how to do mock hand ties. These would be brilliant. If you bought 2 bunches of these, you'd have enough to do the mock hand tied. You could do it in artificial foliage, or you could use the fresh foliage and put the artificial tulips through it. Where real tulips, fresh tulips I meant, like it's not going to last kind of like a long time, where obviously the artificial are going to last for ages and ages and ages.
And plus as well, it's just, when you are practicing, it can be expensive. Like when they're finished their training. I'm laughing at the comments that's coming in. But yeah, so lots of gratitude coming in here now at the moment. Anne says it's to get her husband to make his side of the bed. I'm fluffing me pillows.
Is that Anne Julie?
No, Anne Logan it is. There was another question there earlier on, I think it was over on YouTube, that somebody was asking what date is, not the module 1 in March, the next one after that they can't do the March one, but they want to.
31st of May.
31st of May.
31st of May is the next one after that.
And somebody wants to know, have we got the dates for next September? No.
Will you stop? I only got the planner this week. I have to start filling it in. Give me a chance. No, I haven't got September done yet. But obviously all the classes normally start around the middle, the second week in September, thereabouts. That's normally when we kind of get the ball rolling again and we start kind of like get moving.
Hilda says she did loving the demo. You make it look so easy. Hilda's watching it from
so I'm just
Aberdeen.
At the end now, and it's a little bit awkward, as you can probably see. I'm kind of like slowing down. It's a little bit awkward just to make sure that I get the pieces in, and I'm just trying to keep the tulips kind of like even as well. And I'm trying to slide the stems in here, just so that they're kind of hidden. But when I'm bringing the wire around, I can't just bring the wire straight across like what I was doing. So again, if you've watched me before, I call it the wiggle and the wangle, you know what I mean? So I'm wiggling in between the flowers and in between the foliages. I'm lifting up some of the artificial flowers and artificial leaf that's on the tulips, you know, the way, while I kind of get the wire wrapped around, just to make sure that I have them all kind of even. And as I said, the great thing about the artificial, because there is a wire in it, you know, that way I can kind of like move them around. And I'm kind of like hemming and hawing whether I put an extra one up here, but I don't think I will. I'm going to hold that up there.
Me. No, you do need another one up there. Yeah.
So up where the wire is, you can see
your cop-on spot.
A cop-on spot, as we call it.
Granny wants to know, what size was your base, Jeanette?
It was a 12-inch twig ring, and I didn't have the bunches like they were like about that length, you know, that way, 8 inches approximately. So like they weren't huge. I could have made the greenie longer and made the wreath a little bit bigger. So again, I'm sliding the tulip in where we decided that we had a cop-on spot. And again, you can see the way I'm wiggling the wire kind of in through here, like lifting up the artificial flowers so I don't flatten them down, and kind of hiding the wire in amongst the greenery. You know what I mean? That's kind of like camouflage. And the great thing is once you pull the wire tight, you're able to move the tulips forward.
Paula is saying that she's doing loose bridal hand ties on her course this week. So well done. She says she wished she lived in Ireland. You don't have to live in Ireland.
Don't have to live in Ireland. Our students are Africa, America, Australia, Canada, Ireland, Northern Ireland, UK, Scotland, England, Wales. We have students all over the world because all our courses are online. And we even, like with hand ties, we even have a left-handed hand-tied course. So anybody that's left-handed, you're not left there on your own. And again, like people might say, how could you learn how to do hand ties online? Look at the photographs that I'm posting over the past few days. And again, I'm posting like the different stages of our students where they spend a good day, day and a half, up to 2 days learning how to do it, and amazing. Like all I'm always saying to the world out there, only last month, 6 weeks ago, we had the top florist of the year, top wedding florist of the year. There was 5 nominees. 4 of Kay's Flower School students out of the 5 won it. And one of them, John Hines, from County Cavan, banquets to bouquets, bouquets to banquets. He actually won top wedding florist for the whole of Ireland. And again, student of Case Flower School.
Okay, another question. Somebody's just asking where could she buy? She's in the UK. Really looking at artificial tulips. Evergreen delivers to the UK.
He delivers to the England. There's no problem at all, or the UK. So again, if somebody can tag Evergreen Silk Plants, and again, Charlie or Paul, I know they were over in Poland yesterday, but maybe if they're watching, they might actually put the links up for the, and you know, I forgot to add in the little twigs as it was going along.
You did?
I forgot that. So there you go. All the yapping and all the talking. I'll add them into the next one I'm doing, so there's no problem. They won't go to
Okay,
next.
I have my winners.
Okay.
Okay, so we had like literally the comments were hilarious. But making the bed, making my Massachusetts bed, and making my 6.5 foot bed, looking out the window, taking off my glasses to look at the sky, thankful for 10 things. They're all there.
Some of them were definitely listening.
They were definitely listening. So on Facebook, our winner is Anne O'Sullivan. Now, she's no relation. I don't have an O in my name. I'm just Sullivan. So Anne O'Sullivan on Facebook, you are the winner of one of our planners. And Honeybee and Me on Instagram. You are the second winner of our planner. So if both of you want to email us at info@caseflowerschool.com with your address, we will get those planners. And as long as you're living in Ireland, because we can't post them to the UK.
What happens is you'll get cut for
You'll be cut for customs as well. Oh, walking like a rock star, that was the other thing as well.
Fair play to you, you were listening. I've forgotten half the stuff I know. So again, I'm just tying a little bit of organza ribbon around the top here, you know the way, just to kind of have it as a hanger.
That's
there
fab.
we go. I'm still
It's
missing the tulip from the top.
Yeah,
there.
just stick it in.
I'm just going to stick another one in there. So just get this one in. And what I'll do is I'll hook a wire around it.
The joys of live TV, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. Something goes wrong and you have to try and fix it when you're live. So I'm just cutting that stem shorter. I'm making a wire. I'm making a hairpin bend. I'm going to wrap it around the end of the stem. And then I'm going to manoeuvre this wire in through the greenery. And then get that. It's going to be a bit of a kind of college job, you know that way. So you're kind of sticking it in and you're having a feel around. And you're hoping that you can find the wire on the other side. So if you don't want to think gynecology, you could think, what's the thing to get in the heart? The stent. They're treading up there with that stent, you know that way, trying to get it and trying to find the wire, which I found. There's the wire on the other side, and then I'm hooking around. So very successful internal there.
That's
Our
it.
stent has been put in perfectly, and there is our tulip. Where I was
Yeah,
missing.
that's much
So there's
better.
always a way around it. If something goes wrong, like that went wrong on me, there is always a way around it. So I hope you enjoyed that class using the faux tulips. Again, they're available from Evergreen Silk Plants. They are amazing. That's what they look like. And I used 3 bunches and I'd 1 left. I said 21 tulips and I used 20 of them on that ring. The ring was also from Evergreen Silk Plants.
Just hold up the ring.
I
Okay.
used, many bunches did you say I had?
24 bunches of foliage.
So I've 4 left.
All right.
So 20 bunches of foliage is what I used on that 12-inch ring. I didn't go huge on the outside, just to kind of like let you see it there. And that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
There we
perfect. Lovely.
Okay, thanks a million for joining. Again, just anybody that's booking onto the spring online workshop, book before the 8th of March and we'll get that free kit out to you, the free sundries kit. Make sure you fill in your air code, your email address and your phone number so that we can contact you just in case there's any problems at all. The best of luck, everyone. Thanks a million for joining and I'll see you all very soon.
We have another class tomorrow night.
Another live class tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I'll get Sinead to respond to you underneath there with the link for the event and also the details of how to sign up to the Spring Online Workshop. Have a great day, everyone, and talk to you all very soon.